Remember when you could just throw snowballs at penguins online? The history of online gaming has evolved since the birth of the internet, with the island of Kesmate in the 80s all the way up to PUBG and EVE Online today. But in the mid 2000s, a unique entry would be introduced to the gaming public. A legend was born. Or a penguin was born. This is the story of Club Penguin, a game you might not have played, but one that lives in internet infamy. And hopefully, we can throw some snowballs along the way. Welcome back to RetroVision, where I deep dive into the depths of internet lore and dig up forgotten memories from the internet's many past lives.
A new dawn.
The origins of what would become Club Penguin began with developer Lance Priebe working in his spare time on a game named Snow Blasters. Instead of firing guns or tanks, you'd be having snowball fights. But due to Priebe's lack of experience creating a virtual world in Flash 4, he instead titled the game Experimental Penguin, focusing more on exploration and chatting with other users. Priebe and developer Arsenal only made the game as a small test, but it massively overperformed, averaging players of 2,000 daily, and due to this increased demand, the game was closed in December of 2000.
Blah blah blah. Chit chat. Yeah.
Arsenal began working on the next evolution of their Penguin-based multiplayer, and another new name in Penguin Chat 2 would add chat bubbles and also allow users to create accounts. It also provided users with the ability to use emoticons, effectively a retro emoji. And finally, the introduction of the beloved igloo. Penguin Chat 2 launched in 2003 and would be followed by Penguin Chat 3 in 2005, with the introduction of more human environments where your penguin could go to a nightclub, boiler room, coffee shop, or even work on a construction site.
Safety first.
The big challenge was to create an online space that was safe for children to use. The aim was also to make the space advertiser free. We'll get back to that. A spin-off company was created in New Horizon Interactive, and development for Club Penguin began in 2004. Developers used what they had learned and grown in Experimental Penguins and Penguin Chat 2. They actually intended to launch the game as late as 2010, but due to its rapid development, it was actually launched at the end of 2005. The most incredible part of this story is the developers actually financed the development and creation of Club Penguin themselves. Using their own credit cards and credit obviously came with risk, but it allowed them 100% ownership of the game. The game started with only 15,000 users. By March of 2006, it had jumped to over 1.4 million. We jumped forward to September of 2006, over 2 million users. By its second birthday, it had skyrocketed to over 3 million users despite having no marketing budget. By 2007, it had grown even bigger, forcing the developers to continue to revamp and improve the game given that increasing demand. The fundamentals of the game were very similar to Experimental and Chat, users being able to create their own penguin avatar and put it in a world. There was no price to enter the world or create a character, rather offering players the chance to buy clothing or to decorate their igloos. It was a bulked up version of previous editions, offering more exploration. There were also popular mini games like Card Jitsu, which gave players a chance to grow, a minecart game, a jetpack game, and throwing snowballs. In keeping with the vision to make it a friendly environment for children, players who misbehaved would be punished or outright banned from the game entirely. Now, it's not like Club Penguin had no competition or was doing something completely radical. Free Realms, Fantage, Pixie Hollow, Wizard 101, Endless Forest, and others offered younger gamers a chance to get lost in a fantasy world. But it was probably its equal simplicity, lack of cost, and child-friendly features that made it such a hit. And come on, I mean, who doesn't want to control a penguin? It's just never not fun. But there inevitably came a point when this independent machine was being overwhelmed by its popularity and demand. And then the mouse came calling.
There's something you don't see every day.
In August of 2007, the creators of Club Penguin sold the game and New Horizon Interactive to the Disney company for a reported sum of $350 million. Despite the change in ownership, Club Penguin's popularity only continued to grow, with players going from 10 million to 20 million after Disney's acquisition. With the mouse behind you though, isn't much of a surprise. But what was once a small niche online multiplayer soon became a franchise. And that original idea to create a wholesome space free of advertising died quicker than Loki in Infinity War. Not only were plush toys created, video games, TV shows, and the lot were released to maximize profit. Crossover and tie-ins were also used to coincide with other Disney IPs. Hey, try the Disney Frozen Party to get a free Ice Palace. Or join the Muppets World Tour. And of course, Star Wars, because always Star Wars. But despite this major expansion, not everyone was happy.
War is coming.
Whilst Club Penguin's new Disney Cash had helped increase users, also improve graphics, players who had experienced the rougher, more independent version of Club felt that something had gone and they weren't connected as much anymore. Whilst the original had its issues, like a limited bandwidth to cope with such growth in a short period of time, players clearly loved its community, and because of Disney, that space had now become like all other games. But the financial reality is Disney helped Club Penguin reach new heights. Offices were built worldwide, marketing expanded, and that helped the game grow massively. It almost felt in the early 2010s that Club Penguin was only going to continue to grow and exist forever, only getting better because of Disney. Well, that soon evaporated.
We're in the end game now.
The warning signs began in 2015 as redundancies soon started to affect a number of offices as Disney began to slim down the Club Penguin workforce. Gamers in Germany and Russia had their servers shut down, only reaffirming this decline. As others also noted, it is hard to ignore how much the gaming world changed in the decade since Disney bought Club Penguin. Online multiplayers existed and some absolutely thrived, but with the growth of smartphones, a new way to play had been formed, and that was through mobile games. Candy Crush and Angry Birds obviously first come to mind, and due to iPhones and Androids becoming the norm, their simplicity to play made them even more popular. Being able to play addictive games anywhere at any time rather than having to be at your desktop was obviously a significant advantage. This played a role, and as times changed, a younger generation were accessing games very differently. This did not help Club Penguin, who were unable to refresh their player base like they had been previously. The inevitable was confirmed at the beginning of 2017 when Disney announced the closure of Club Penguin Online to a new mobile experience named Club Penguin Island. And as usual, the internet took this news in a reasoned way. No, of course they didn't.
Oh, no.
Mass outrage soon followed, with shock at the news. You see, for a lot of my generation and probably yours, Club Penguin formed a protected part of our childhood. Even if we didn't play it that much, it definitely left a lasting impression. For that to be extinguished was not easy to take.
The ice is melting, hurry!
For Disney, though, their next installment of Club Penguin was dead on arrival. Club Penguin Island lacked charm and goodwill to maintain a player base. Reviews on the App Store were brutal, and the game appeared to be nothing more than a shallow cash grab, with pay-to-play features limiting an already lackluster experience. Advertising jumped the shark, absolutely mocking the original intention of Club Penguin's creators. Club Penguin Island was shut down in a year, putting the series out of its misery. A pretty swift and brutal end to a beloved game. Private servers have been set up in the years since to try and recreate the original experience, although unlicensed, with some more dodgy being taken down by Disney. So there we have it, the history of Club Penguin. Please let me know in the comments if you played Club Penguin, what version or versions did you play, do you even use the private servers right now?